And we are on the 400th episode of RC Talk. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Good.
Congrats.
Yeah. Good laugh.
It's a huge milestone, Tank.
Yeah.
A huge milestone.
400.
Glad we
Means-
should be a part of it.
It means you got nothing to do.
Yeah.
For how many years?
400 nights. So many years. On Thursday night, I had nothing better to do than spend it with some guys in
A
the
whole
hobby
bunch of
RC.
clowns.
Yeah.
800 hours wasted. Grown men that play with
It
toys.
means you got nothing to do. For how many years?
John, do you have the audio on?
Yeah, it just popped up on my phone.
Okay.
No
I just took care of
sleeves,
it.
no headphones. That's John.
So tonight I do have a couple things to talk about, and then we'll go through memory lanes and try to talk to you guys, ask you questions and things like that of bloopers and different things that you did wrong or screwed up in the RC. It could have been while you were driving. It could have been while you were flying, boating. It also has to do with radio control, working on RC, just crazy stories that you've seen or heard. We'll talk about that. We'll have a couple laughs. But I do have some things to talk about near the beginning about new products that I saw that came out this week. And Radioactive is still there. Osborne RC is there in the chat. How you guys doing?
Your volume's pretty
And
low.
I do have somebody that's supposed to pop in here. Two guys in here knows who it is. I'm not mentioning it who it is. Hopefully he'll come in and it's going to be a surprise for you guys. So we might have a special guest tonight. He said he was going to try to pop in.
Should I tell him who it is?
And most everybody here knows him. So it's going to be interesting when he comes in and we can actually ask him questions. So it's going to be fun.
You got a special guest, Tank?
Your volume's low, Frank. It's hard to hear you.
My volume was low?
No.
A little bit, buddy.
Your volume.
It's a little muted.
Well, it is automatic. I guess I was talking too close. If I talk too close, it just pads it down. Right now, I'm noticing as I'm backing away from the mic, now it's
Yeah, it
fully
gets a lot
loud.
better.
Yeah.
And if I come really too close, it starts padding it down. Okay.
Here he is, everybody. Special guest.
There he is, our special
Yeah,
guest.
Jersey.
I gotta go.
It's
It's like
not
that last
bad.
video.
Christ.
You would. Yeah, even Osborne says he can hardly hear you.
Who let the Philadelphia kid in here?
Wow.
What?
That's a huge one.
Giving me a bad time all day.
I'll keep my audio page or my setting page open like that I can monitor my mic. Yeah, I got too close to the mic and it just padded my audio since I was talking all the time. It just padded everything down.
So your mic didn't even want to hear you.
No, who wants to hear Tank anyways? Like, you don't come here to hear him, we come here to hear everybody else. Psycho 13 Garage, how you doing, Dirk?
What's up, Dirk?
Hey, Dirk.
Hey, Dirk.
It's
not like nobody else has heard you in the last 400 episodes.
Yeah, so I did pay a lot of money to get a good mic and it's still screwing me up, but I got to learn how to use it. That's all.
Roger would have been
That's
cheap.
what he said.
Mics are expensive.
So,
Joe.
coming in.
Joe's
Bill.
Bill.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hey, Bill.
About to share a screen and somebody was coming in. Okay. First thing I'm going to share is something I posted on my Facebook page. I'm sick of this life, so better go get an RC. Thought I'd share that with you guys, starting up with something funny. Looks like the guy's going to jump out of the window, but no, he's just stepping outside. sneaking out of the house because the wife is not going to see him. I do have a parking lot wars coming up on September 29th. That's the last one of the year for the point series. So it should be fun and interesting to see how everything is going to end up. On my Facebook page, I did put a bunch of stuff. This was kind of cool. It's a 3D thing you built, and it actually has a motor and actually works.
That's pretty cool.
That's
Oh,
3
yeah.
feet long.
That's what she said.
I wonder if I guess it'll fly.
No, I don't think it will fly, Brad.
Lying to yourself, Keith.
I did post 5 videos this week of parking lot wars. This was one of the most recent one. I still have the Tamiya, open class, and short course truck to actually upload. And just a reminder that tomorrow is Friday the 13th.
Yes.
So be careful. And I put this thing. Well, this is interesting. Team Associated just came out and announced these guys.
Yeah, the 1/27th scale. They're slightly bigger than minis from Gyro.
So once we see them and put them beside, maybe we'll be able to run them on the Kyosho racetrack. I don't know, but they are way more affordable. You can actually buy the kit without the NIM and the recharger, or with the NIM and the recharger. Looks like it comes with a nice storing case, which is nice.
How much are they?
We'll go through that in a bit. If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Yeah, well, that's everything from me.
That's obvious.
There, Keith likes that. It's green.
Oh, yeah.
Some people were saying like, oh, they're trying to compete with Kyoshos. I don't think so, because even the bodies, they don't look that scale or that real. It's not bad, but they still have the body posts. Like in the rear and on the front, they still have the body post, which kind of sad. But it is a rear wheel drive, 2 AA's on the bottom. Four
like
AA's,
4.
sorry. Yeah, 4 AA's on the bottom.
Or AAA's, right? I would think.
I think they're
Double. And doubles.
Yeah, those are AA's.
MCO.
That would last maybe 5 minutes in my house because I would lose it and then later on step on it.
Look at that. They got narrow wheelbases, narrow tracks.
Interesting battery
stuff.
choice, that's for sure.
Yeah,
It's
I wonder if
probably
the
yeah.
Reedy batteries are as bad as the motors.
I
Yes.
assume you could upgrade those motors.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I like the newer model better.
So here's the cars, and we go to 1/27 scale. So they do have the Nissan Z or the Datsun. 2 colors in that
Datsun.
and 3 colors in that one. So we'll go with the Datsun,
Datsun.
and we'll go show off this guy because why are we showing this one, Brad?
That's Keith loves green.
There we go. So the green one is 120.99. Well, 119.99. $120.
I wonder how much the other ones are.
Probably the same.
Probably the same. Combo with the batteries, you're looking at $20 more with the batteries.
That isn't bad.
So 120 for
Cyclone
those.
RC,
and
what's up?
the Nissan are 120 also.
Nissan.
I prefer the modern day Nissan.
So the one
Cyclone RC, what's happening?
so you like better the modern day Nissan Z. But it doesn't come in
You
your
tank? Is 400 getting you, tank?
Pardon me?
So this is 400 getting you? Zed. What's his Zed?
Yeah, what's a Z?
That's a lot of the A lot of
Nissan
people
Z.
Z's.
Z.
It's a Z.
Z. There's
No,
no
it's a
D.
Yeah, it's a Z.
There's no Z. That's not ZED. That's Z, as in Nissan Z.
It's not a
Okay,
Z.
Deckles.
It's a 240Z.
It's not a 240Z. It's a Z. Nissan Z.
That's
No,
actually,
it's a
yeah,
Z.
the
There's no
240Z
Nissan
and a
Z.
400Z.
If it's a Nissan. Z, it's only a Z in Canada. Because here in the United States, it's a 240Z.
It's only
Exactly.
Deckles. It's only
Okay.
Deckles. Canada.
People in the chat, how do you pronounce it? I say you pronounce it like this. This is how you pronounce it. Like Zorro.
That's it.
Z.
Hello, Reef.
Z.
The
Just
Z.
pronounced it.
How you doing, Sharif?
I'm
Good,
good. How are you
Zebra.
guys?
Good,
Zebra.
man, good.
Good. We're arguing
Good.
about how we say 240Z. It's not 240Z. It's 240Z.
240Z in America.
Yeah. Yeah. So go back to Canada. Oh.
Oh, yeah, that's where you're at.
Japanese car made for the American market. It's a Z.
No, I'm Canadian, so I'll stick with the Z. Oh,
I
we do
guarantee
have
you,
somebody
if I
that
went
just
up to
came in with
Canada
us. Did you
and
guys
everyone
notice who
said,
just
I
came
need a
in?
240Z.
It is.
Nobody know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I noticed it came in. Welcome.
So we do have Reef RC with us, and we're going to talk about some of the new stuff he's got also. So we're just going through the products right now that I noticed this week that actually came out. Team Associated came out with those small 127 scale. So we're talking about that. And we're waiting for you to come up with an upgrade servo for those little tiny guys. I'm just kidding.
I haven't even seen that little thing yet.
Are you going to talk about bloopers too after?
I did barely heard that because your
Oh,
mic is
we
low
going to
again.
talk about bloopers after, remember?
Bloopers,
Yeah.
yes, we are going to
Yeah.
talk about bloopers.
Okay.
We're talking about what's new, and then we're going to continue with bloopers closer to the end. Because it's our 400th stream. I've been doing this for years now, inviting anybody that wants to come in and talk about RCs and see what's new. Sometimes we have open mics and just chit chat.
That's cool.
That's what RC talks about.
Awesome. Did you guys catch you guys know that we do a live show every Thursday at 1 p.m. California time?
Yes,
And,
I did listen to it, and that's how I got your email today. Because last time I sent it through your website, and I guess you never received it. So this time I captured it and I sent you an email real quick.
I got it and I hopped on. Just finished dinner, so perfect timing.
Not a problem. And during his live show today, they talked about some new stuff.
We did. We try to release, new items every Thursday on our show. We have that YouTube membership thing to where they could get on and see things like a week beforehand and actually buy the product a week beforehand. So we push that too a lot. Just we got supporting the channel, but every Thursday I try to release something new, whether it's a small little item or it's a big item. So today we released the EZ-BEC, and what that is, it's a very small, fully programmed battery electronic circuit, so BEC, and it's water resistant, it's powerful, it automatically throws 8.4 volts in there. So a lot of these guys, a lot of new people that get into the hobby, when they come see me at an event or something, say they bought their first axial base camp and they want to put a good servo in it. And when they do that, it either browns out or kills something else because they're high voltage servos. So this is a perfect plug and play option for anybody that wants full potential on the servo without changing all your motor and ESC and all this other stuff. So there's no soldering involved. There's no wire cutting involved. There's no programming involved. It's really no brainer.
And
Yeah, so it's just
he
8.4
video.
volts.
Yeah, sorry about
Yeah,
that.
because you don't want anything less, right?
Right.
But he did. You guys did release a video today. He mentioned this guy mentioned that it was going to be released tomorrow morning at 9, but it was actually released tonight at 9.
Yeah, we
So
had a little bit, our social media guy made a little mistake today,
okay,
and he was supposed to release it in the morning. It was supposed to be scheduled, but he actually hit post.
okay.
Oops.
So in this video, he shows how easy it is to actually install, and it's in line with the servo. In other words, you have one cable. He explains all this in the video, and it's too bad you didn't take a picture of it untangled to actually show the people. But
Yeah, I should have.
basically, you see it here better. You have
There you
one
go, yeah.
cable that goes to the receiver, and that's for your signal for your channel 1, and this goes to your servo
Correct.
connection. I love that you've got this clip on there.
Yeah,
Not
so just like
everybody does
our
that.
extensions that we offer separately, these are lockable extensions or
Yes.
servo extensions, which I think is a must.
Yes. And I like that you've put that there. That's great. Like that, if ever you're on the trail, it's not going to pop out by accident, or if a branch catches it or whatever,
Right.
it's going to stay there. One thing that people have to be aware, you do need an adapter. It does not come with this, and this price is Canadian. My website, I'm in Canada, so it shows Canadian. I believe it was
Oh,
$49, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, it's $49, 49
US.
USD. And about that battery connector, we make an XT60 adapter
Yes.
right there. That's what you would do at
And
an
if ever
event
you
or
have
wherever.
XT90, they do have them there. And
Right.
like the guy in your website or YouTube video says, or go on Amazon. Like everybody does some Deans to Deans with a JST connector on it
JST.
also, if ever you have Deans. I understand that you can't have everything, but
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is
I
cool
mean,
that you
we
actually offer these two.
we prefer the XT60.
Yes.
When I first started, 9, 10 years ago, I was using Dean's, but and so our XT60 adapter is kind of like a kit, right? So it has adapters in the adapter, right? So you could male to female, female to male, whatever. If you're not sure what you got it, and you could even unsolder it and solder only what you need on it. Like I do, I'll shorten it all up on my rigs, and we have the males, and the BEC is the female, or vice versa, I think, and it just makes it so when we're at events or anywhere, we could get somebody going or back on the trail or that kind of thing, and a lot of people are going to use it also for all these all-in-one motor systems that only can give you 7.4 volts, but you really are in a competition truck or whatever, and you want to push everything you can. You're going to put that BEC in there to give you 8.4 volts.
Reef, on this BEC, if you're running like a comp spec IS300 with the raw 800, are you going to have any amperage issues at the 10 max 15?
No, so we're running currently two 800 LP brasses in a comp heavy metal, like a Ty Pro Customs caged truck. So it's really heavy, and we're running one BEC for both servos and a winch.
Oh,
Nice.
nice. That's a lot
Yes.
of
You don't
juice
need-
being pulled out of that.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
need a BEC for every servo. You could.
Well, I know other companies have said
Yeah.
that they require a higher Castle 20 amp to run the winch and the servo.
Yeah, this is why I made mine.
Yes, I understand.
Huh.
Right now, your BEC can run up to 6S. So
Correct.
it runs up to 6S. It outputs 8.4 volts, and it is not selectable. You cannot turn it down. It's locked at 8.4, and it is not programmable, right?
That's correct.
Right.
And because nobody likes programming anything, okay? I mean, they have to do it sometimes, but nobody enjoys programming. I'm one of those guys. I mean, all my servos are programmable, and I'll tell you what, and I say this before, we were the first ones to come out with fully programmable servos available at your local hobby shop. Okay. And the reason why we even did that is not for the RC industry. It was for US military and other military industries that required programming on the servos for us to get these contracts. So, but we ended up figuring out, hey, the RC guys love it too. let's all do this option.
Right.
You know? So why not? So it worked out perfectly, and now people have the option to increase the torque on your servo, decrease the torque, and when you do that, you're simultaneously changing the speed on your servo, and you could also have it slow start, soft start, all this stuff. And people don't really think about that, but it's very cool options.
I know on the IS300 that soft start has saved me a couple times where I've actually accidentally hit a button or ran it in a little too far, like it letting off and then tapping it again, where the soft start is so nice on that.
Absolutely, especially when you're like me and you have your little kids playing with your trucks and they hit that winch button and snap everything in half, right?
Yeah.
Well, you put the 900,000 pound winch on there, you know, of
Yeah.
course it's going to snap something.
Right. Yeah,
You know?
it'll rip. That winch will rip your finger in half if it wanted to.
Be hard to stop, that's for sure. I
Yeah,
read
it's-
on your
it's-
specs there that your amperage, it is 10 amps and the max of 15 amp that the draw on it is going to be.
Right. So unlike other things out there in the industry similar to ours, that they are amp hogs. So the one thing I try to do, and this is again coming from a different sector in our customers, is that they consume the least amount of amps, but still maintain the highest output of performance. So the reason for that is this other sector in our world. They'll put 20 servos in the face of a character that's going to be on a movie. And can you imagine how much amperage you need when you have 20 servos? So if you could get a servo to not need quite as much and still perform, that's all gravy.
Someone in our live in our chat wants to know, it'd be easier to, it'd be nice if they were programmable through a phone too.
I want to say been there, doing that, trying that, testing that.
Yeah,
It's a work in
Bluetooth,
progress, it sounds like.
but Bluetooth programming from the phone just makes it a little harder in the sense that, not harder, but more expensive. And people, like, it's like buying a programming card and you're going to use it how often? And are you going to pay $40 or $50 on top of what you're going to be paying just to program it once? Unless you have a lot of them and you program a whole bunch. I don't know.
Well, so I don't want to give out too much of our future things, but
Why not?
so I've already developed that, what you're talking about. I did that I've finished it a year ago.
Okay.
Now it's not ready for the RC industry because, like you said, it is expensive. And until I can make it to where I like to make things the highest quality, but not the craziest prices, because in actuality, I could be charging way more for our stuff because of the quality in it. But even though some people might think it's high, which is fine, we're not the lowest. We're a high quality company, but I wouldn't want to run anything not the best of qualities, right? So, but I would say in the future, I'm gonna try to make something like you're saying, but you won't even feel the price difference, if that makes sense.
Be affordable.
Yeah. Because the RC community is not gonna go crazy on these things like the military community. So they have a bigger budget.
Your servos are all waterproof, right?
Yeah, they're 100% waterproof. There's a few in my line that are just water resistant because they're servos that you're not gonna take a drift servo in the water. You're not gonna, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that could some servos, there's 2 or 3 on there that are not, they're just water resistant. And because we know people are using them for not water items.
Doesn't know teeth, does he?
In Europe, they run touring cars, and sometimes they run them in the rain. So
Yeah, we haven't had any issue with any water. But you know what? No matter what you do as a manufacturer and try to prevent water from going in there,
Still gets in
something's
there.
going to get in there. I mean, I
it's
don't
gonna
care.
get in there.
Yeah, unless it's a submarine, you know. But I mean, that's why some of my servos, I was like, not a submarine. You know?
I notice also your BEC, you did mention in the specs that if it will take more than 10 volt to output 8.4. So in other words, if you run a 2S, you're only going to output 7 volt out of your BEC, which makes sense.
Right. Yeah, you can't get. Yeah, it just. Yeah, it makes
No way.
sense, right? You can't get
No
that.
way to get more power out of a
Right.
2-cell battery.
Yeah, it's not going to magically voltage appears, but you know we have to list that because you know, like I said, I really push for that, bringing new and young kids to our hobby, and I think that I can never lose focus of that new person. Like just like I was new, everybody else was new,
Yeah.
and the more you take care of these new people getting into it, man, the longer and more happy they're going to be with this hobby.
RC Mass Master mentioned in the chat, everything needs to be waterproof in Wales because it's always raining.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they're all water resistant. They're not all submarines. Some of them are. Some of them are.
I heard you're branching off into other things with your company. I was also wondering if you plan on doing ESCs.
So
Where's Brock to stop you?
No
you guys
comment.
you caught me by myself.
You
So
posted this a while ago. The next generation of Reef RC products, the XP series. So you're coming out with a whole bunch of different stuff this year. And there's a bunch of them here. So you're having silicone trays. You're going to have your aluminum cups. You've also come out with a transmission.
that's the baby step.
That's the baby step. Now tell us a little bit about that transmission.
So as I continue on this journey of many steps, so the first baby step, and what I think is probably one of the most vital components in even a trail truck, comp truck for sure, anything where you want size, space, availability, that kind of thing, you really want the simplest, most minimalist, with the highest quality transmission in your rigs. And so we accomplished that, and we machined these, and then we put the best gears we could find, best gears we could machine, and also the titanium shafts, and it's just a perfect little unit for every kind of rig. And I didn't want to have to worry about overdrive, dig, all that stuff right now. Okay, I just wanted to come out with the heart. So this heart, I mean, I put it in everything so far, and not only when we come out with stuff like this, we made printable files that you could download off our website to fit it in every rig.
Okay.
So if you want to put it in a Capra, you want to put it in a base camp, you want to put it in a SCX Pro, what else is on?
Or Vanquish.
VRD,
Sorry.
the stance, the HM,
VFD.
all that stuff. But a lot of people use flat skids nowadays. I mean, blank skids. But yeah, I love this unit, and we're just getting started with this series.
And it is one
So
Canadian.
Oh, go ahead.
US,
It's
it's
$100 here in the
Yeah.
US.
Yeah, $99 here in the US.
$99.99.
The housing metal, right?
The housing is machined out of 7075 aluminum.
Is this Rich or Wyatt's baby or a combination or
So the designer 100% is Wyatt.
Wyatt?
Right. So yeah, you guys know this year I got Rich Trujillo, who was the project manager at Axial, and I got Wyatt, who was the head designer at Axial, and I also got Paul Wilhite, who was in charge of Horizon Hobbies brand. So that was this year. So that should give you guys a big clue.
Yeah.
Max Paul in the chat. Max Paul in the chat actually mentioned, "Wow, now I want to build a rig around the Reef's new transmission."
You're gonna love it. I mean, once you guys try it and see how quiet and smooth it is, quiet is my biggest thing. Like, I hate hearing gears moving on when especially when I'm doing a video or something, but it's super quiet, super smooth. It's already greased from the factory. You don't have to do nothing but buy a pinion gear and then put it in your truck.
Now, why did you guys decide to go with a 2-gear instead of the 3-gear, just like the old SEX10 transmission?
Well, it is a 3-gear technically. There is
the pinion. If you count the gears that way, then the pinion and the spur gear in the SEX10 counts as gears, so that's the 5-gear.
Yeah. So we did it based on how many gears we're machining.
Okay.
So we knew we were machining 3, so we just called it XP-T3. So the T3 is just for 3 gears in there. But so 3-gear or 2-gear, like I said, I wanted simplicity, but the same outcome and performance. And this is delivering that.
And performance, and that's why I want to come out to the gear ratio thing, is if I use a 35 turn into a SEX10 3-gear transmission, the one I'm thinking of with the spur gear on the outside and so on, compared to yours, am I going to get the same torque ratio, in other words, because your gears are a little bit bigger inside and things like that? Is it going to be close, or what's the torque ratio if I use the same motor?
Great question. And we listed all of that in the product page on that XP transmission, because first of all, I'm not the engineer, right?
Okay.
So I'm just a guy behind the name. So, but Wyatt, when he makes all these gears and changes and ratios, we make sure to list all this information and what pinions you should do. Even in the video that Brock did, he tells you what you should do on almost every kind of truck, which is really helpful.
So here's our transmission ratio, depending on which pinion gear you're using. And then straight axle and portal axle, vanquish axle. So here's the ratio of the gearing that you're going to get.
Put all
Correct.
this down below.
And then you have a small pie chart, and not pie chart, but a chart here that gives us a bunch of different ratios also. That one doesn't come big.
So you could change the pinion and spur in there.
Just a pinion. There's
Just
no
a
spur.
pinion.
Got a
Okay.
little bit of feedback, Tank. Can you guys hear that?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds fine on my end.
Yeah, there's nothing big.
It's not bad. I just heard Tank say it twice. That's all.
Yeah, so I mean, we tried to list, the most popular axles out there and what you should run to get certain ratios, certain torque. But like I said, I've been using like 11 to 14 tooth pinions, and they just been so smooth in my trail truck, my comp truck, my heavy moon buggy, all that stuff. So, and it also is going to depend on like everything else in your truck, what axles, what motor you're running, that's all crazy.
Somebody asked in the chat here, what does XP stand for in your product line?
I think we're going to tell or show that coming soon. I
Okay,
want to let it be a thing,
that's fair.
but it sounds cool.
Right?
So you all people could use those gearboxes also for rock hoppers, which would need more speed.
So we had Joe Exo Caged. He did a video on the 5 different motors that he threw in there, including basher rigs.
Oh, yeah.
And he said if you could put if you could find like a small mod pinion to go in there, you could run this on a 5th scale. And I believe he tested it on his Rift, if I'm not mistaken. And he did some hardcore running with that. Put a pretty big motor in that thing, launched it up hills, and held up great. So he didn't see anything wrong with it. And Joe is one of my good friends, and he loves to give me his honest opinion. So I love it.
Now, Harley Design a few years back did a speed run, and he did an SCX10 and tried to make it go as fast as possible with his Canadian friend. And maybe with that transmission, they could have made it go even faster.
Yeah, right.
Well, I've seen TRX4s doing almost 50 miles an hour. So
yeah. I mean, I would love to. I'll probably send one to Josh and have him try that.
He probably still has the truck.
He has it. Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, just never mind.
you wanted to make it as tough as possible, and that means even taking high speeds. So,
how long have you had these silicone trays?
Those came out last week.
I was gonna say those are new. Yeah.
Yeah, those came out last week, and everything we manufacture, I try to have my Shield logo in there, obviously, and I wanted a silicone parts tray in the shape of my company logo. So Wyatt drew this up. He designed it, and he made it to this perfect height, perfect sides, all that stuff, and they came out really good. They sold really well last week, and they're still going. So the thing is, I tell people, like, we don't order a lot at first. We order half or whatever, and then once they're out for a while. But now we've just been trying to keep up with something new every week, every couple weeks,
Okay. And when did you come out with the solo cups?
Cups are cool.
The cups came out before Axial Fest West. And here's my thinking behind the cups. They told me I can't do what I wanted to do, at the event. But I would have liked to have a free beer at the Reefs booth, like, when you're at an event.
Yeah.
And they told me, I said, it has to be with purchase. Okay, with any purchase. So you could buy $1 something and get a beer. Right?
Yeah.
So
Buy the cup.
yeah, but they told me I am not allowed to do that. So I brought the cup anyway, and anybody that made a purchase at the booth got free cups. So it was fun.
Cool.
I'm gonna do that again next week.
Because I met you and I saw you at Beat the Creek this year. I was there with my camper trailer and all that, and I was begging you to get a servo for it, and just having fun, giggling around. And I wish you would have had those items there, because I would have picked up some of those, because they're kind of cool.
I know. They're super cool. And like I said, I was trying to do it like a fun thing. Like, who wouldn't want a beer at the booth? Like, when you're walking,
Right.
Well,
That'd have been perfect.
I got shut down real quick, but so I still just gave the cups away, but it was cool. So I'm going to try to do that at every event I go to. So hopefully
That's
next
good.
Kentucky, Beat the Creek, I'll be there with the same cups, and they're a hit. So
Cool. And you've had a bunch of other stuff. Oh, yeah. I want to talk to you about this, the Reef wraps. How long have you had those for?
So those came out about, I want to say, a couple months ago. And I just really was getting hit up so much that people wanted my livery on, because we have livery paint jobs that we do on all our company trucks that we display at booths. So we wanted to make a way where we could have different options of liveries that people could just easily wrap their panels, wrap their sides, whatever. And they've
what
been
I
doing
find
good.
interesting here is that it does say a pack of 4. It does say it's a wrap for $23. You get a pack of 4, but nowhere does it say the size of the wrap.
Oh, it doesn't?
No, I don't see any sizes.
Well, they're I think they're 7x7, but Frank, Frank, somebody's gonna get fired.
Nice job.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say, but I'm saying, hey, this show got Brock fired. Okay.
Brock. You suck, Brock.
Other colors. You have other colors besides gray.
On the wraps.
Yeah,
That's their logo.
No,
there's one
that's-
that's black. That one.
Yeah, there's this one. There's this one. This one with no Reef RC. This one that has a little tiny RC, looks like a map. And then you have this one that has top and bottom Reef RC logos.
Yeah, they're really been a hit. A lot of people are doing it, and now I stopped getting requests for custom paint jobs with my livery.
Well, you need the brass looking one now, since you're doing a lot of brass.
I think that's a great. It's a great idea. As if we did that one with like that shiny metallic gold.
Yeah.
In the vinyl, that would be awesome.
It would be great. I'll wait for my commission.
But wouldn't they be adding too much weight up top with all that brass?
That's true. That's true. I might make mine with real 24 karat gold. Just
I was going to say gold, right?
gold leaf.
So gold leafed, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna gold leaf it for sure.
Yeah. And I see you have knuckles, brass knuckles for SCX10, I believe they are.
Yeah. So these were one of, I think, Wyatt's second or third design that went since he started with us. And so we wanted to maximize the amount of steering angle you can get, say, for example, on a SCX Pro with portals. So if you bought the plastic portal kit, you could put this on. So you get about 45 to 50 degrees on a stock SCX Pro with portals. When you slap these on, you go from about 45 to almost 60 degrees of steering angle. It's like a drift.
Almost drift.
Yeah. It's when you see it in person, insane. And it works with your any 10-3, but not the C hubs. The C hubs are only for the Pro.
I would like to see some items that are hop-ups for all types of vehicles besides crawlers.
Like drift and stuff?
Drift, touring car, buggies.
Well, talking about drift, you now have these guys.
True. That was our so we did this project because of our local drift scene here. So everybody wanted a drift gyro by Reefs and to match perfectly with our 299 LP drift servo. So they wanted that combo together. So we finally made it happen. It's a tiny, tiny little guy, but with so much programmability. So you could do what the big gyros do, but with a tiny package. So that was the goal, and that was our first thing into gyro. Who knows? We're not going to stop going forward, So.
I mean, as far as you go, the next step now is to make receivers and radios.
No.
Right? Yeah. I'll leave that to Futaba.
Yeah.
True. You have hats, you have other brass for these knuckles, you have servo mounting.
Yeah, that was the first project Rich and Wyatt introduced, is the VRD winch mount.
Yeah.
And those tabs. So tabs we have now for the standard servo, the micro servo, so you could literally put them anywhere you want, and they're aluminum machined. And then the VRD winch mount, nobody had a winch mount for the stance. Like you couldn't, not only just a winch mount, let alone a winch mount that you could have 3 different type of winches on there if you wanted to.
Okay.
So now we
Yeah,
made
you
the solution.
Put a little micro up front, huh?
So a
Yep.
little micro like this in front, or one on top like that, or
Or an
pointing-
internal.
Oh, wow.
A 360 servo I see with a pulley.
Yeah, that's the internal spool winch.
That's
So
good.
the good thing about internal spool is comp guys really like it because the spool, the line will never come off the spool.
Okay.
And a lot less failures that when they winch back in, they don't want to slide off the spool, get in between the spool and the servo and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, you have experience with that, you know.
Mhm.
How much cable can you fit on the spool? Or distance?
Currently about 7 feet.
Wow, that's a lot for that little thing.
Yeah. Yeah. If you need more than 7 feet, stop crawling right now.
Yeah, pick your car up and go home.
Stop crawling.
It's a big ass rock you're trying to crawl
Go,
up.
yeah, go play with RC boats.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't need more than that.
You also have tools.
That's funny.
Yeah, tools are a great hit. They just sell out too fast.
Yeah.
Especially our custom handle there. That thing sells out like crazy.
This guy.
Yeah, that's machined like the whole pattern on there is my logo. You see the shield on the handle, that's the grip, and it's
Cool.
I love it. But
Yeah,
it sells out crazy all the time.
They're perfect for trailing. That's why.
Yep. And go in the back pocket. Yep.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if you could make a tool that's JIP too.
What's JIP?
Japanese industry.
It's JIS.
JIS, sorry.
Oh, okay.
That's
For Tamiya only.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we don't, we're not like tool company. We're not like, we just, I come out with products because I just say one day, like, I want that. And then,
You're like,
and then
if I like it, somebody else will like it, right?
I was like, you know what? I want my own toolkit. And they're like, okay. And then we have it. They're like, oh shit, I want that toolkit too.
You got,
I got nice
merch,
bags too.
We got all the good apparel.
Mm.
We even got phone cases.
Oh, you got a lot of different hats too.
Do you got
Yeah.
any of them
you
drifted?
got shirts too for our SC up there.
Oh yeah, we got all the shirts, we got all the hoodies, all kinds of goodness.
She comes with the shirt.
No, yeah, I mean, I guess if you call them.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Are you releasing anything at Prine By The Fire?
I am.
Oh,
But it's not something crazy big. It's just it's another little baby step. Well, remember those steps. I'm going to say next year when I come back on the show, maybe next year, I'll say, you remember step 1?
yeah.
Now we're at like step 40.
Right.
Okay.
I already
I-
see the steps.
I already see this. I already see the steps too, but I'm gonna break Tree's chops here a little bit. I remember a couple events back, or maybe even a couple years ago, somebody saying I'm never going to do a chassis again.
That was 2 years ago at Beats Creek. No, I'm sorry. That was last year at Beats Creek.
Oh, did I say that?
Yep.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
That wasn't me.
On there, said, I'm never going to do it again.
Did I say again?
Why do you think you hired all those other people?
Damn.
Well, yeah, I know, but I just figured I'd break his chops on that, you know.
It'd be cool. One thing I'm surprised I don't see is shocks. I'm surprised you don't make shocks too.
Hey, slow your roll there, Brad. Slow your roll.
Brad,
He's trying to find out all the steps.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm just throwing ideas for him. So,
Well, I appreciate that, man. I hope you guys are all subscribed to my channel there on the YouTube.
Yeah.
You guys should if you're not,
Right.
because I do
And,
this every Thursday at 1 o'clock, and I can't stop laughing for like an hour with Brock. So it's a
Radio
good time,
Master.
and we're totally ourselves. Like this is how I am as a businessman. This is how I am at home. This is how I am at events. So I'm, you know,
I was
it's
gonna say, you and Brock bickering back and forth and picking at each other. That's 24/7 when you two are together.
I mean, Brock he's my best friend. Like he's been my best friend since I started Reefs RC. And I couldn't have done this business without him really. And so he's like my brother. So we tease each other all day, talk shit to each other all day. And my carrot cake choice is better than his. I love carrot cake. He can't stand it.
I love carrot cake.
It's not my first choice, but I'll eat it.
Radioactive.
So it's a
radioactive-
constant battle between carrot cake versus not,
Actually, it's RC Mask Master actually put the link of your YouTube channel in the chat a little while
I
back.
appreciate that. I don't even know how to do that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he's one of my moderators, so he can post links.
Very
and
good.
stuff like that.
Very good. Well, I hope I entertained you guys, gave you some good info tonight, and thank you for allowing me to come on your show, Frank.
Thank you. You're welcome pretty much anytime if you have something new to talk about or you just want to chat about anything RC related. That's what we're here for. We're
I
just here
appreciate
having
that.
fun.
I see a lot of the Operation 11 guys too, and shout out to those guys and thank you again, and thank you guys to all the support you've given Reefs RC over the years. Blessed to be in this business, and I'm blessed to have an RC community that supports us. So thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
you stopping in,
the
Reef.
gauntlet.
Right on, Reef.
See you guys later.
See you later.
Have a good one.
He's going to be at Prine By The Fire, Brad. He's not going to be
He's
at the
going to
gauntlet.
Pro Line.
Which is in California, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Down there.
That's
in
where
LA.
he's is.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's just going to drive his car right down the street, probably. Huh.
Hey, how far is he from you, Kurt?
5-6 hours.
Ah, so he's in Southern California, more or less.
Yes, LA area.
It's tough being up there in the north, isn't it?
Yeah, more the central.
Oh, central.
But we're going to go back and talk about some of the new stuff. Cross RC has came out with a 12 scale RC. And I actually mentioned here in my post 12 scale, they should have went to 14 scale like that. It would have matched the semi trucks. And then that wrote down, oh, they should have made it 10 scale to match our 10 scale trucks. So
I think they want to. Don't they also make a 8-wheel drive? So I guess they wanted to be along the same size.
don't know, but this one is 12 scale.
If they just added one, they have to put red, white, and blue.
They probably went so that this would fit on a chassis they already made.
I think so, yeah. They probably chose a chassis they already made, the axle already made, and then they basically put a cab on it and measured it and said, okay, that's a 12 scale.
But they don't have anything 12 scale.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Right. Well, they probably just saw, somebody came up with this idea. We want to make this truck. Well,
Because this
if we make it,
it
1/12, it'll fit our chassis that we already have. So that's simple.
They already have that in a 1/14 scale, so they did make the whole thing as new.
Mm-hmm.
Chassis.
They have that body in a 1/14 already.
Yes.
Maybe it was to cut down on manufacturing costs by cutting out that other chassis if it was small.
Look at the Mach 8-cylinder engine in it. It looks like one of those Russian trucks.
We talked about that. True North RC. He's a fellow Canadian.
Yeah.
Near Toronto. He does 3D printed rig reviews and event coverage. So he does a whole bunch of things. He's been to a few of my events. he just started doing these chrome little doodads. So they're probably 3D printed with chrome plated, but they're to put on top of semi
for semis.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. And now he's got the steering wheel. So
What the hell is going on?
I don't know, Keith, what's going on?
I don't know. I've been on and off and on and off for the last 4 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. I've been seeing you going
Look at
on
that,
in and
They
out.
got a Hooter color.
So
Did you say
I
a
like
Hooter
the
color?
Pewter.
cuter. I don't know.
Hooter?
But
Pewter.
he's
Type
been,
of metal.
he's been 3D printing this body for a van, and I
Yeah,
want to
nice.
find out where this file is because it looks kind of cool. I probably could print that also.
That almost looks like the whatchamacallit van from
18.
Looks like he's got a GMC logo on the front of it there on the grill.
it says Max, but it looks
Yeah,
like
it
a
says Max.
Yes.
Oh, Mac. Oh, okay. I was
Says
gonna say
Mac.
it looks like a GMC or Chevrolet.
So he's been busy. He does have a video out there on YouTube that shows this van completed, which is, it actually looks nice. He's done a good job.
A-team.
So, and that's about it for the new stuff. It was nice for Reef to come in here.
Yeah.
You know what was missing
That's-
when you was showing Reef's website, Tank?
What?
He got a bunch of big banners, and you know what looked good on my wall?
A big banner saying Reefs.
They're not that expensive either.
No, I noticed that. I got one in my card already.
Okay.
That way you can cover up the big head banner behind you.
How do you know it's still there?
Because we know you.
We know it's still there.
Of course it is.
You know, you turn. That's why you
Who
turn
are
around every
sellers?
once in a while. You turn around to stare at it. Ooh,
So here's
good.
a scale banner.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right down there, right there.
There's the 4x2 Reef banner. And a 6x3. That's the big one for $62.
Yeah. That's the one you need to put up behind you.
We'll cover all that big head up with his competition at the Carolines.
What he wants is
Are you all right, buddy? What happened, man? Did you fall off of that?
So he's
I
got
think that is a pretty good BEC though.
3 different
Oh
sizes.
yeah.
Tony wants to buy
Non-programmable, just hook right up and go.
Hey Tony, you want to buy the shirts and stuff too?
I did look at that. They're not bad priced.
They're like $20, aren't they? Something like that.
Yeah, 20. The double-sided one's like 25.
About average or something like that.
So we got about an hour left on the show. And now we're going to try to not make people laugh, but tell stories about the crazy things or the bloopers or the goofs or we've done in radio control. Oh, Keith is coming back in. Are you going to stay this time?
No, it's already.
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
gone again.
Poor Keith, man.
I think
Take
he
a
has,
screen
to,
picture.
he has to reboot or something.
David's been lurking.
Ah,
What's wrong with my banner?
it's got a big old giant head on it. That's what's wrong with it.
Can't get the head out the way.
Can't see past it. Like watching a movie with a big old screen in front of the screen.
So now he's got to get the big Reef banner, and it's going to be so big that it's going to cover up the big head banner.
Battle of the Carolinas. Is that an actual event, Josh?
It doesn't say Carolinas. It says Carolines.
Carolines.
And I thought you misspelled it on the Facebook post.
Nope,
Sleek
he
Hobby.
did.
What's up, Sleek Hobbies?
Is that a new guy?
Hey, Sleek Hobby.
Shit, I won't be there. I got to work.
Yeah, the post says it's the Battle of the Carolines.
So me, probably one of the craziest thing or goof or bloop, not a blooper, but goof that I did is
We
I
can
was,
barely hear you.
you can barely hear me. Yeah, my mic
I
kind
hear
of,
Bill arguing with his cat.
Yeah, I had to rescue him. He fell behind the stereo, cut off the TV and everything.
oh yeah.
Yeah, unplugged the I don't even know what you call the damn thing. The big thing with a bunch of plugs on it.
The power bar.
But
My
anyway,
dog does that sometimes. He walks behind the TV and he hits the button for turning off the power bar. Then the whole TV, everything goes off. I go, oh man. Then you yell at him to turn it back on. He just comes out and just looks at me. Probably goes, ha ha ha.
that's a good trick you got to teach him.
Yeah.
How to turn it back on.
One of the goof I've ever done was probably for me is I was soldering a new connector on a battery. I was taking off the, I think it was a Tamiya plug or whatever, and putting in a Dean's. So I cut one cable, solder it, cut the other one, solder it. Everything is fine. Everything turned out great. I go to the second battery and I go, man, this went so good. It's cool. I take the plier and I snap the two cables at the same time. And then it just like a big sparks. And then I remove it and I go, shit. And all of a sudden I hear, psst. It's just a hissing. And I go, what? And I was in my Winnebago back then. And so I took the battery and I just like threw it outside. My wife goes, what the heck's going on? Nothing. Everything's fine. I was.
Did it burn?
Oh yeah. It once it started shorting, once a lipo starts shorting inside, it just doesn't stop. It's a chemical reaction. So it just, yeah, made a lot of smoke. Oh, that was crazy.
Got to get it before it flames out.
And I kind of go, well, there's a $30 that's gone. I think it was like a Traxxas 2200 milliamps. I think they were like $25 back then. So
I think it's Tank.
Oh,
Tank, you
man.
got some sort of
Thank you.
feedback.
Got two mics going.
Somebody's got two more. Yeah.
you heard me twice. Maybe
Yep.
get rid of this mic. Let me go back to
Yeah, battery pack. I paid like $25 on Temu to buy that battery. 2 of them came in the mail.
That's a crazy blooper.
Yeah, that's an advantage.
That was a blooper on their part for sure.
Hey, Bull Gear RC, how you doing?
For a 2S, that's probably actually what it said
No,
in there.
that's a 3S.
Oh, okay.
That's a 3S, man.
What's up, Bull Gear?
Hard case. 3S hard case battery.
You ordered 1 and 2 games.
Like $25 on Temu. That's an awesome deal to start with. But somebody at Z Batteries grabbed the wrong box off the shelf and sent me a 2-pack instead of a single.
Well, lucky you.
Well, did you contact them and tell them they made a mistake and return it?
Oh no!
Don't worry, I'll do it for you.
That guy, I don't want to get that guy in trouble. He's my favorite employee at Z.
Oh, okay. I asked Brad a question earlier. Did you ever blew up an ESC? And Brad, can you tell me the story of what happened?
The car, for some reason, it decided to move on its own without me doing anything, and it ran out in the middle of the street right when a full-size van was coming by, and it got squashed and it sizzled. I was surprised. Only that was mainly destroyed. Everything else was not as destroyed as I thought it would. That got destroyed. I saw it fizzle, sparking and stuff like that. Yeah, it got run over by a full-size van.
What's up, Sean?
Yeah, I've burned up a few speed controls, but most of the time it was from putting too much motor in for the electronics.
That would do it. A lot of people don't realize that some ESCs, you can only put a certain type of motor on it. In other words, not over a certain turn or under a certain turn.
Under.
Is a restriction. People don't
Usually
realize
what gets you is going under.
Yeah.
Because that equals, more current.
Or I can tell you the stock Dynamite ESC and a SCX10 SCX or SMT10 with a 27, was it 27 turn motor
Mm-hmm.
or 35 in that? The
I
stock,
think it's a 27 or a 21 stock.
yeah, it's okay, 27. Yeah, a lot of people at Axial Fest in 2000 can contest that. Yeah, that they make a lot of smoke when they go off, especially
yeah?
when you're in a gravel pit.
Keith didn't like your story.
No.
Yeah,
I think he's having internet issues tonight.
yeah, we
is
know
he?
this.
He's been in and out all evening.
Okay.
Radioactive is saying to Bill, did you at least use my Z affiliate link, Bill? With a smiley face.
I would have
think smiley.
been shopping somewhere else, but it was Temu, so
It was Temu.
affiliate link wouldn't do it,
I didn't even know he had an affiliate link.
I started actually. There's a Temu has an RC car out that's gained some attention.
Oh yeah. Oh, we have 110 Hobbies that's watching us right now.
Well,
Hey, there's a guy you haven't spoken to in a while.
I spoke to him when I went to did my last parking lot wars. I went to do it over there. He was actually sponsoring some gifts for the event at the end
That's awesome.
for door prizes. Thank you very much. It's always a fun time going there. And I did pick up a shirt from him. You should see the hobby shirts that he's got. They're kind of cool. Probably gonna wear it on next race.
Tony's gonna want it. He gets all his apparel through RC links.
110 says we even hugged.
Yeah, we even hugged.
There's Sean's RC Construction in the chat.
Hello.
Sean, Justin from STCRC sent you an email. It's probably in your junk folder. Go check your junk folder about that truck spoiler that you said you'd want. Go check. He sent you an email and you haven't replied. So check it out.
Spoiler for a semi.
Radioactive says his affiliate link is always in his video description. Cool, I'll check it out. Thank you. Now, does your affiliate link work on different, like on Amazon, or does it work only through Z Battery website?
Good question, indeed.
Did you link my show?
His show? What show?
He said, did you did my link show? He wanted to know if the link show.
Oh, it's link.
No.
Chat.
No, your link didn't show.
I'm not watching the chat.
I can
If
send you
he's
the
not a
link.
moderator, he can't put a link in the chat.
He is a moderator.
Okay, then it should work.
Radioactive says his Z only works on the website,
Okay.
on Z's website.
Okay. I thought that's what it sounded like, a direct link or a direct whatever it's called.
So he was trying to show his shirts. Okay. If you don't pull up his.
Oh yes, pull up the link for the I can do that real quick for the
Oh,
shirt.
he's trying to show his shirts. Tony's
Yeah,
gonna be
I will.
that.
I just have to type 1 and his website comes up.
A link for what, Master? For his shirts and his hobby store.
Yeah, please stand
They're
by.
delayed, Brad.
So he's got a bunch of shirts. These were his first shirts, which is kind of cool. He's got a cool
That's a long
110
one.
Hobbies skeleton. And that's the front of it.
That looks like it's for a tall guy because it's long.
Which I like because it
You're a
stays-
tall guy.
Yeah. So this is the one I got.
Oh, that looks like a basketball jersey. I'm so sorry. There you go, Tony. There's your jersey from Canada.
Can't see the screen. It's not showing for me tonight.
Not showing?
No. Put a link in the chat.
Yeah, internet things, man.
Yeah.
Wow, Bill, you're usually the one who has trouble. Keith hasn't had trouble in a long time.
And I had to pick up a 3XL for it to fit me.
So it was long and wide.
That's because of my stomach. I had to pick up a bigger one. So I did put a link to direct.
Chloe Lee says colorful. We'll see you in a crowd in a crowded.
Yeah, maybe
Well, that's the
it'll,
point of it.
I don't know, it's been going off and on.
Seen Matt from Skill
Now
Builders
I
Guild
got-
wearing one of those.
Yeah, but
Yeah, he was actually. I remember that. That was.
Hey,
what,
now I got
yesterday?
person talk instead of studio. How do you get to the studio?
What are you talking about?
I can just see you.
Click the view button.
Go to the top view button.
You on your phone or your computer, Keith?
Computer.
Yeah,
Yeah, you should
top
be able to
button.
use it.
There's view, the
That's,
9 little square, and go to gallery view.
Gallery.
You're on speaker view right now.
Oh, it's way over there. Okay.
Yeah, it's way on top now. They moved it off the screen.
Here we go. Got it.
Uh, 110 Hobby says tank isn't that big. They are size quite small. LOL. Which is not good for him because if people usually say, "Well, an XL usually fits me," no, you have to go 2XL.
I thought you said you had to have.
I put a 3XL. I usually take 2XL, but I put a 3XL.
Is that Timu boy? You put a 4XL and it's like doesn't even fit.
Chloe and me said some send Brad a shirt. He needs one.
Yeah, we all ignored that.
Blind Neil, how you doing?
Hey, Blind Neil.
Yeah, same with the 4-foot cable.
Hey, Blind Neil.
Oh, he's already got a 4-foot table, Kurt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I don't see him using it a lot.
No, he don't use it.
I don't do it online.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I just started building my Blackfoot, so I used.
Oh, you did? Cool.
Yes.
You got electronics?
Yes.
Are they waterproof?
Yes, I got it. I just got to waterproof the receiver.
Got the receiver?
Yes, I got to waterproof the receiver.
Are they green?
Because Keith likes them.
Is it brushless yet?
I'm not doing brushless on it.
Don't zinc me.
He's got another shirt here that says, "Not all who wonders," and what is actually written on it, "Not all who wonders are lost."
Wanders.
Classic crawler.
Wanders.
That's a classic crawler logo.
Yeah.
Or what would you call that?
Wonders.
Wander.
Wanders.
Not all who wander are lost.
Yeah, wander.
Wandering around.
Didn't
Right.
Eric Warren almost have a symbol like that at one point?
Yeah, it was similar. It was similar. He's kind of stylized it a little bit to make it his own.
Not
But
sure.
that's the thing that's been around for quite a long time, really.
So RC Redneck, what's the craziest thing or the boo-boo that you would have made in RC that you can remember?
Guess a couple of months ago, I was down at the river filming, and as I was making my way from the flat area over to where the big rocks are that we crawl, I stepped in some wet moss on a rock.
Here's some pictures that match. Mouse.
And fell in a crevice in the rock that's about 2 foot deep. It just happened to be full of water.
Wow.
I was still filming.
That's a long way of saying you busted your ass in a puddle while you're filming it.
Yeah. It was more than just a puddle. It's a very big crevice. It swallowed my whole body. My glasses was down in the bottom, but I throwed my phone. So all of that was on film.
Oh, yeah.
It was a poodle.
It's probably clear enough water to where you could see your glasses.
Yeah, I
I
could.
did the same thing about 4 or 5 years ago. It must have been, yeah, about 5 years ago. I had one of those point and shoot camera with the flip out lens that comes out. And it's a nice zoom on that also. And I love that camera, but it was a digital hard drive in it. And it worked great until I went filming in a fall. There was a fall, like coming down, flat area, coming down, flat area, and then coming down again. It was so nice, and I could walk where the flat area is. There I am walking with my remote, walking with my camera, filming, and all of a sudden, just like you, because you're walking on that water, you don't see underneath because the water is going so fast. There was a crevice, and I just stepped in it, and both hands went right in the water. So my transmitter and my camera went underwater, and I came back up real quick, but too late. Water went in the lens, it dried in the lens, and after that, every time I was videotaping, there was that friggin' drop of water in my lens. It's crazy.
Chloe said, let's see the video of that. I guess she's talking about you, Tony.
Yeah. Do you have that video? Did you post that video up, Tony?
Yeah.
Okay.
I posted an After Effects video where I was confused. Didn't quite know what was happening. That whole incident caused me to buy a new camera because I was filming with my phone, an iPhone, and I thought, I can't afford to lose my phone in a 2 foot deep puddle of water. So,
Android.
So I will buy a cheap GoPro style camera.
But most phones are waterproof nowadays.
This one wasn't in a case or anything. It was just.
Okay. So this is your website or your YouTube.
I think it's Old Man Down is the name of the video.
Is it a short?
I don't remember, to be honest. But I know that's the name of the video. Let me look and see.
Yeah,
it's a short.
There it is.
So this is the aftermath after you fell.
Yeah, I jumped right back up, soaking wet, and grabbed the camera and started filming.
Well, at least it was summer.
Yeah, I was a little dazed.
The killer hole. Do you actually have footage of you throwing the phone?
No, I did not put that up.
Okay.
Oh, that's no fun.
Well,
all it was a beautiful cloud and treetop scene.
Oh yeah.
So
I'll put the link.
Lots of movement, right?
Here's a link for that video if anybody wants to go see it with the audio. Another thing I've done, which probably some people have done here, while building some RC trucks or crawlers, if you put the diff the wrong way in the rear or the front, your tires kind of roll that way. And when you put it at the table to actually test or to push it, it ain't going nowhere. And like I was amazed. I'm going with I go, well, I hear the motor, but it's not doing anything. Like who's done this? Who's done this on the diffs?
I did it once. I did it once.
I've done it more than once.
Unknown RC did it. Some people are probably shy or saying,
No says no, he never did that.
Yeah.
But I caught it before. I caught it before it got onto the vehicle. I bolted it up, and I'm like, wait a minute.
I mean, I can see how it can happen though, for sure.
Oh yeah.
You know, when I make a mistake, I grab the phone up and film it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and that's what I do a lot when I'm taking things apart. Is I take a picture of it, of how it is, before I completely take it apart, especially if I don't have a manual.
when I was enabling the dig on my Capra over there, I got the servo put in, hooked up to the little rod, put the Capra back together, didn't plug it into the receiver.
That didn't work then.
It didn't work. Didn't take long to figure it out.
How much money did you spend? How much money did you spend before you figured out what you did wrong?
It didn't take long because it was locked, had the rear end locked. And I thought, why is that thing dragging the tires around? I ain't even pushed a button yet. So didn't take long, but I had to take it back apart to fix it.
Oh man, I hate
Which
that.
is not
You have to
fun.
dig deep to get to it, right?
Yeah, it's not fun.
John Martin, what else have you done or a screw up or a goof or a blooper?
Lots of
Yes, there's a lots of things. Let me get up. Get rid of this stupid background.
Damn, you got snow already?
Just keep it in front of you. It should go. It should show. Yeah.
I showed this the other night.
Oh yeah, he soldered it in the wrong position, didn't you?
No.
No.
Look.
While soldering it, I forgot to put the positive
Put
wire.
the cap on.
I forgot to put the positive wire onto it, and I soldered the wire.
Through, yeah, you didn't put it through the cap.
So
Yeah,
now you got two options. You got two options. Cut the cap and to put the wire in. You cut the cap with a slot like that. You can sneak it in, or unsolder and resolder.
Yeah.
Solder, resolder.
Or the hell with it, just leave it.
Yeah.
Or plasti dip it. Yeah.
6,000.
I've soldered on ends before, wrong. Caught it before I messed up, took them off, and then soldered them on again, wrong. Yeah, that one sucked. I gave up after that night. I said, "Yeah, it's time to stop."
Yeah. Time to go to bed.
I'll tell you, if I had the camera on all the time, I could make a bloopers channel.
Right.
I think we all could.
How many times have you taken apart something that you just put together because you forgot to do one little step before that?
A lot.
Yeah.
I did that building this damn my drip car. I was like, this ain't working right. What is wrong? It's like, oh, that's what the bearings are for.
Just on this Tamiya M06 that I build, the servo cable is actually runs underneath the battery. But when you install the servo, you got to make sure you run that cable through it. Well, I didn't. I just installed the servo. Cable was coming from behind there. And then I'm looking at it. I go, shoot. So I had to take off all 4 screws to actually take off the servo, run the cable, and then reinstall the servo again. Like, this is pretty recent. That was last weekend. So
All these things in our head going, yeah, I can do that. I don't need no directions.
yeah, I don't need no direction. I know how to install that servo. I've installed it plenty of time. Then shit, I forgot a step.
I didn't see that picture.
Right.
Or
RTFM.
Or you buy some
or
cheap
you
thing
can
that looks good, but it doesn't come with any instructions, and you have to figure it out.
No, that's when you say Google.
What's that, John?
What
as you can
YouTube's for.
see, as you can see by the back of this is that 3M plastic tape.
Yeah, it looks like
And
it's
this is my transponder. Well, this transponder doesn't work because this decided to fail and it dropped out of my car and wrapped up around my drive shaft while I was racing. And ripped the end of it off. And as it did, it must have shorted it out because I got back and I put the end back on it and it still don't work.
Oh,
That's another oops. That's an oops.
You need a
'Cause I was
little metal
swapping it.
bracket with some threaded holes so you can just go ahead and make use of those screw tabs, you know?
Well, the problem was I was pulling this between two cars. So that's why it had the 3M sticky tape. The dual lock.
Is it like Velcro?
Yeah, it's the dual lock.
Oh, okay.
Kind of hard to.
You know that the Velcro you get back on Easy Pass? That's what that is.
Yeah.
That shit don't go nowhere.
No.
I don't know. I
But
tried
where's
that.
that-
I didn't have good luck with it. It holds it really well, but it doesn't take an impact. So if you drop off of something, take maybe a
Well,
football.
like I said, with me
it'll fall
taking
right
this
off.
in it, with me pulling this in between two cars, 2-3 times a day at the track, it kind of wore out.
Yeah.
And I didn't, yeah.
It would ruin the screw holes after a while because you're kind of pulling it up, unscrewing and screwing and screwing and unscrewing.
Brad, if I got 3 minutes between races, am I going to be pulling screws or am I going to just be pulling off the thing with Velcro and plugging it straight into my receiver, right down to a Velcro?
I understand what you're doing, but either one could have helped. Either one could have done it too. I mean, what I'm saying, it could have still screwed up the screw hole. You had to do it that way.
It was a time thing.
I know.
Unknown RC, what kind of screw up did you ever come up with? That you can talk about.
I blew up a ESC. I thought I had the siren. I didn't clean between the A and the B post. That was a nice fireworks show. It wasn't a smoke check. That was a fireworks check.
I guess.
No,
So that's on the output going to the motor. When you soldered it, it was one of the leads were short.
Yeah, it shorted out. The A and B were soldered together.
Now, did you go for the warranty for that? Did you warranty that piece? No.
Wasn't mine.
So it's an expensive lesson.
Very expensive lesson. $150 expensive.
Wow.
Well, yeah, it was Matter of fact, I cross soldered a ESC one night. Well on one of these lives on a Thursday night.
Me too.
And as soon as I plugged it in, I heard the pop and saw smoke on. I unplugged it and I just kind of tossed the ESC off to the side and had to make a trip to Indiana to get a replacement.
I don't think I've ever done that one.
No, I
Truck
smoked
Tech
the ESC
Joe.
on purpose. Hook a 6X battery up to it and smoked it on purpose. That was fun.
That'd be a good video, yeah.
Well, the biggest thing for me was I converted most of my stuff. I started off with a lot of element stuff and was converting everything to XT60s. So there was quite a few times desoldering the plugs off of them, and then instead of grabbing the XT60, grabbing the Deans and soldering it right back on.
So you took out a Dean to put a Dean.
Yeah, put the Dean right back on it, just not paying attention exactly what I was doing. So desoldered it off, cleaned everything up, and then soldered them right back on. The other one was
I decided to take the easy way on that.
Yeah, use an adapter.
no.
Yeah, that don't work.
I
You gotta go.
I don't
You
like
gotta do the soldering. I don't like that.
yeah, I don't like using adapters if I don't have to.
Mhm.
The other thing was I was putting the SE 1800 Hobby Wing in the Sendero SE, and it was going backwards, the opposite. So I thought, well, I'll just flip the controller. I flipped the controller, and the truck pretty much cleared off my table. It took off and went. So I had to catch it, and it actually ended up it twisted the centers of the drive shaft, and then it ended up blowing out the front pinion.
People don't realize that it happens quite often that your throttle range from forward to reverse is different. In other words, the center range is different on some remote controls.
Oh yeah.
So when you actually do that, reverse from forward to reverse, your auto calibration that you've just done is not right. So now
It's
your
the
center
opposite.
is not right. It's as if you're holding the trigger. So that's probably what happened on yours, which is kind of weird.
Absolutely. That is exactly what it did. And I just kind of was like, it's the only thing I could do. And by the time I caught it, the damage was done. They would even put a bumper mark in my wall where the front bumper hit the drywall so hard.
Oh, how many times have I ever done something similar to that? You're working, you got it, you got your truck on the bench, it's lifted, but then you're doing the trigger, but then you're doing something else and you kind of push on the trigger by accident, but all the way. So then the tires really blow up, touch the table, and the whole car flips up. My car was almost dragging up the wall, like I was holding it, whoa, and trying to hold, like it's crazy what happens sometime on the bench.
Well, I had it on
Oh.
3D printed jack stands, but it didn't matter.
yeah?
Like it was so instantaneous. Like it literally bounced off the jack stands, and then it just rocketed and just wiped the table. I had shit everywhere, and it hit the one corner of the wall, then hit the main part of the wall, and that's when it heard a bunch of cracks and twisted the drive shaft and busted the diff.
It sounds slightly expensive.
I didn't know that
Yeah.
Arma Notorious could move a small Toyota. I was racing with it. It was parked, and I zigged when I should have zagged because the dog was coming, and it went underneath the car. The car went, whoop. I'm like, damn. They got stuck. We had to actually jack the car a little bit just to get my car out. I think my wife has a video. I think she does, actually. I didn't get that.
No, I've got a blooper that a guy did test driving a truck that I was selling, I had a Losi NXT stadium truck racer, and the local place beside me was shutting down, and all the friends that I raced with, they were kind of getting out of it, and so I was just going to sell it. And I worked in Columbus at the time, so there was a track there, but I didn't want to drive an hour and 15 minutes to race on the weekend. So he was interested in purchasing it. So he really didn't know a whole lot about RCs and kind of wanted to learn it. And I was working at a freight company at the time. No, I take that back. I was working for Coca-Cola. 53-foot trailers parked everywhere. So I kind of did the one-on-one. This is the steering. This is the throttle. It's nitro, so you got to let off and then keep going is the brake. So I run it around for a few minutes and filled up the tank and was going to let him drive it around a little bit. Well, he grabs a hold of it, pins it wide open, starts turning to the left, runs right into the dolly legs of the trailer and folded the thing in half.
Wow.
The whole thing chopped in half, huh?
It folded it
still
in
had the
half.
dirt?
He hit it so hard.
So did he buy it?
Yes. Yeah. And the parts. He bought it, and he also bought the parts and paid me to fix it.
Cool.
But it was this very sickening feeling of watching a potential sale of your truck and just literally as fast as that thing would go, just run it right into a dolly leg. Dolly leg is what holds the trailer up when it's not connected to a truck, in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
Might as well have been a concrete wall, honestly.
Does he still have this car?
That was in 2003, so I have no clue.
That's in a landfill somewhere.
No clue.
That's
Something similar happened to me that I saw somebody do that. A friend of mine, Justin, lent his XRT to a guy in the park. He had two kids with him. One that was maybe 12 years old and another son that was maybe 6 years old. So he takes the XRT and the X-Max XRT, starts having fun with it really far, and then he comes back with it, but doesn't slow down and hits his son. When he just hit his son, and his son went flying. His son started crying. He was okay, did not break anything. Good thing he was slowing down as he arrived. But that guy should not have been driving. That was way too much power for him. Could have been worse, but everybody was fine at the end. The kid got scared more than he got hurt. It was crazy. You got to be careful how you hand people a remote, because everybody thinks, oh, I can run this. And this is why 90% of the time when a little kid tells me, I've run RCs before, let me run yours. No.
That's why my remote has a safety.
Yeah. Top speed. What's your stories?
Do you want the most recent or what?
Anyone.
Bob versus tire.
Tire one.
The tire won that one. That didn't bounce back.
Yeah.
Well, I just drove a 1/7 scale into the front tire of my truck and blew the front end of the Liveries last week. Had a little bit of a mishap. I'd say a funny one that happened last week was after my 168 PB. I was letting the ESC on the car cool down, so I always let the fan run and just leave everything powered up. Well, after I did the 168 and I finished the video, I was letting the fan run and I was all excited and talking to my brother. And I turned around and I grabbed my radio and I shut it off, not paying attention. And there goes my RC car straight off the back of the pickup truck, straight off into the dirt, covered everything in dirt. So that was kind of funny. Huh. But one of the more funnier ones was when I fell off the back of my truck. Because note to self: if you use duct tape a lot, don't stick it to the tailgate where you stand, because when you do go to move your feet and get off, your feet don't move when it sticks to it, and then you just wind up falling off the back of the truck and on the ground. Yeah, that happens.
A little swan dive.
Where's a video of that?
Yes.
I actually didn't get to use that one, unfortunately, but yeah, it happens. Fell off my trunk of my red car too one time. Slipped right off of that one.
Seems like you have a lot of trouble with the pickup truck with your cars. Things are just flying off of it.
You almost burn your
Never
car
run
down.
of a back of a vehicle after an RC with a trail hitch still hooked to you.
Oh, it hits what it's hooked to.
My little brother wound up, he was messing around with a car driving down the road, and he decided to be cool, and he thought that he was gonna take his E-Revo and speed up along behind it. Well, then the car hit the brakes, and he drove that sucker straight underneath the bottom of it. And the people just kept going because they heard the bang, but they didn't know what it was. And here they ran it over because it wound up getting in front of the back tire, and they ran it clean over. And then they finally realized, stop. Mark's like, no, it's my fault. I was like, yeah, that was your fault, dummy.
Master's leaving.
See you later, Master.
Later,
See you later.
Bye.
Later, buddy.
See you later.
Hope to see 400 more.
Yeah. Jem's Hobby, what kind of story you got for us?
Well, I agreed to build this cross tow truck. No, I've blown up several ESCs. There's a video of I geared Misty's car way up for the run and caught her car on fire. And then Joe was there, the truck I built. It had a metal spur gear on it, and the battery had slid down out of the battery tray, and just that metal spur gear rubbed it. So we're going down and beat the creek, and Misty's like, there's smoke coming out from my truck. I keep setting Misty up to have car fires, I think is my biggest blooper.
Bye, Master.
There's you posted that video of that fire, didn't you?
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah,
we got them both on video.
I'm surprised that body didn't melt.
No,
they did good.
I rescued it. Everybody was
And I got
standing
the
there
other one
watching it,
apart.
and I dove in there and got it off. Got it out.
I think Misty needs to fire her mechanic.
She might need to.
I think he's trying to tell her she's hot in the RC kind of way.
Right. Joe caught me on camera falling. Not a full-on Tony into a crevice fall, but I just busted my ass, and Joe like caught it right on camera, right in front of me. I fell down a little hill and bounced back up, and I'm like, no one saw. Then I see Joe behind me with his controller. I'm like, oh.
Even me at Beat the Creek. Couple times, like I almost fell, lost my balance and almost fell. And you guys heard me say some bad words also, like you didn't think I talked that way.
Well,
that wasn't from falling though.
Yeah, that definitely.
No, that wasn't from falling. That was my TF2 that was acting up.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with the TF2 at all.
No?
It had to do with the operator?
It was the Canadian tires that he had.
Canadian
tires.
I felt so bad for you with that thing not going into reverse when you wanted it to.
Oh yeah, I know. I gotta change. It's still I still did not change that ESC. When I put the new body on the truck, the K5 Blazer, when I put the Blazer body on it, I'm gonna strip that whole thing and put new electronics in there and put it deserves it. It did a good run with what it's got, but that FSR Tekin FSR has to come out of there. had a good run. Bill, do you have a story for us? Other than your concrete blocks.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a pretty good blooper too. But this truck sitting in front of you right there, that's a blooper. That thing was built specifically to pull a trailer with another rig or something loaded down on the trailer. Practically useless for that purpose because it won't steer. Matter of fact, most time it won't keep.
What truck is that? A
front
Sen
tires
RC?
on the ground. That is the F350 that I built custom. It was 2-wheel drive, but I put a K44 front axle under it.
Okay.
Trying to bounce back from that. I've still got to get a transfer case and a few other bits. Actually, I've got the drive shaft, so all I really need to get is the transfer case.
Hey,
but that's a blooper that was expensive.
Oh yeah.
I know another blooper of Bill's.
Which one's that, Eric?
There's a PLA.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, the warped body. The body that goes on this truck. And actually I got a brand new pen torch and a can of butane to refill it, and I'm gonna play around with that and see if I can fuck it up even worse.
Oh yeah.
Hello,
I'll
Chris.
try to straighten it out, but it probably won't go well.
The hair dryer.
Hey Chris, how you doing? KBRC 13, what kind of stories you got for us?
I just only really got one good one. I decided to build 1/10 scale bob wire, and I had it hanging right here, and I got tired and I leaned my head back in there and I got that bob wire all caught in my hair.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember
that
you
was-
building that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was for my
Yeah,
king hauler, for the king hauler. That's what I had here.
And you
I've
don't
blown
have
up
it
a
anymore
couple of
because
stuff.
that.
Right. My wife and my niece had to pull it all out. But yeah, I've blown up stuff, but that was my famous blooper.
That was funny.
Yeah, it was on live too, I think.
Yeah,
it was.
Or was it after hours?
Yeah, I can't remember. I know it was on
Yeah,
a
it
group.
was
We
on-
were all in
yeah.
a group. Yeah, we all watched
Yeah.
them do it.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Who was it that fell off the chair in the middle of the live?
Oh shit, that was
The chair broke.
Yeah, that was on
that was,
another channel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that One Stop or Addicted? One of those two.
Yeah.
Who's the one with all the cars in the back?
Addicted.
That's the one.
Who was the one that almost burnt their car down with a light bullet slid across the top of their dash?
Oh, I forgot about that one. Yeah, that one. I had my lipos on my dashboard in my little red car, and I get all the way out to my spot to make my run, and I did a road check because it was at night. You know, make sure there's nothing laying, tree branch or whatever laying in the road. And I slow down, I go to turn around, and don't you know, as soon as I go to turn around, the battery slides off, hits my RC car, and punctures the lipo, and just completely immediately filled the car with smoke.
That
And then
that could have been really bad.
by the time I got out of the car and around the other side to grab it, I could not see anything inside my car except for the flames just sparkling, starting to glow off. And I whipped it out, and as soon as it hit the ground, 6-foot flames come shooting out of the battery. So I got that out of the car just in time. But yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah.
You whipped it out, then you grabbed the battery?
Right.
Yeah.
You're supposed to grab the battery
Well, I
first,
figured I
then
was
whip it
trying to
out.
put it out, so you know.
Right.
Kurt, what kind of crazy story you got for us?
know me and hitting curbs.
Pick a video.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of bloopers with the curbs. You kind of jump on that trailer and hit the back of the trailer also.
There you go. There's one of my bloopers right here. Little
Oh,
fried
burned that
That's a nice
ESC.
fire. If you can call fires nice.
I installed this BEC up here, this big giant BEC up here, and that's what caused all that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. After I installed that, I had that fire.
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't installed properly?
I don't
or-
know why I cut in between. That's why they wouldn't warranty it, because I had that sitting in there. So yeah,
Wow.
I couldn't figure it out. I must have wired it backward, not backwards, but maybe I didn't have a good solder on it or something.
Oh, you use E6000.
I used E6000 to glue the wires together so they'd
Yeah,
hold.
solder.
Right.
That's what Keith would do. You almost burned down that car.
Yeah, I burnt it down. The whole body's I still have the body in the garage and the windows are all warped.
Chloe and me says, full house tonight, Tank. You're getting popular. People just like hanging out. So it's all fun. We're having fun here.
I see you have a new body is it for your son's car?
No,
His car.
you don't see this at all.
Yeah, that's just there's nothing there, right?
There's nothing. You
Mine
did not
too.
see anything.
I don't need another poll started on Facebook before I get to run it.
Right. I'm gonna start one now. Is Josh allowed to run his new car?
Yeah, I'll rewind a video later. I'll take a picture of what he's cleaning and I'll say, guess what he's doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it on Poor Boy RC.
Eric, is that a Tamiya body?
I won't tell if you won't tell.
You don't tell, we won't ask, Eric.
From what I'm seeing, it looks like the Escort body. Or the Focus body. I'm sorry, the Focus body.
I know what it's going on.
He's got a couple TTO2 he's got to build. And I think he's got a drifter. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
Have
Frank,
you
you
used
forgot
that?
you forgot to show the new truck from Associated that just came out, the short course truck.
What short course truck?
They just came out with a short course truck this
Are you
week.
talking about the Dakar that's been out for a little while?
No, it's another one. It's a pickup body.
Yeah, I think they just came out with it today or yesterday.
I thought I may have sent it to you, but I don't know.
So you're saying it's from Team Associated.
Yeah.
And what scale do you think it is? Because it would be here.
It's 10th scale. Maybe it's not on their website, but I saw it already talked about in a video.
Oh, they got a lot of shit here. And you're saying it's 10 scale.
Yes, it's a 10 scale short course truck. I think I sent you the video because I couldn't.
Was it 10th or was it 12th? Because I did see it today. I just don't remember what it was. And it was short course
a car.
It's not that one.
No, it would have a red circle around it. No, the only thing that has new is on the top ones here.
Well, someone showed it, so they must not have updated their thing yet.
But they did put a video on YouTube.
Yes. It was on what's his guy? The guy from Connecticut.
We come here and go to Team Associated Facebook. They should mention it there.
No, it was on what the guy from Connecticut's. Forgot he has 2 channels.
Okay, Brad.
Oh,
You got to realize something, because right now, to me, you're just like Trump. If you saw it on Facebook, on social media, doesn't mean it's true. Like, you gotta.
The car was being used and run.
Still doesn't matter.
Still, it doesn't matter. Somebody can.
Look what Heavy Storm did.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, he had everybody fooled, didn't he?
Right.
For a couple of days.
True.
This chassis is
Okay.
Mexico, the body's in Puerto Rico.
So we're gonna start saying our goodbyes. It's 11:27, and we're gonna start with John Martin, since he's way in the bottom on my screen.
Thanks for having me, and congrats on 400, and see everybody on the next one.
Thank you for being here. Kurtz RC.
Thanks for having me, Tank. Congrats. Hitting the milestone you got, and then everybody go out there and run into a curb. Have some fun.
Cool. Thank you. KBRC 13.
thanks, Tank. Keep your RCs muddy, your hamster smiling, and we're gonna have to do something for 420.
420.
Yeah,
420
420. It's coming up. So
Smoke, smoke, smoke.
yeah.
That's gonna take 20 weeks to hit.
At least. Bill.
At least.
It's a great streaks Tank. 400 episodes is that's a good run, buddy. And glad to have been here for some of it.
Yeah, thank you.
And,
It was
thank
nice.
everybody
It was
joined
nice
us.
for Reef to show up tonight. That's for sure.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, it was.
Jem's Hobby.
Thanks for having me, Tank. Everybody, thanks for stopping in. 400 episodes is a long run, Tank, and glad to be part of it. So thanks again.
Thank you.
That Canadian's got stamina.
Yeah. Just keeps on going and going and going, just like the Energizer Bunny. Mitchell.
Thank you, Tank, for the invite as always every week, and I think it's really awesome. And congratulations on the 400. And it's always fun hanging out and chatting with you guys. You guys are literally, there's nobody around that I really know that does RC. So to come out and be invited and hang out with you guys, it's always a good time. It's always a laugh and get to learn and check out some new stuff all the time. So thank you very much. And everybody in the chat, smash the thumbs up on the way out.
Yeah, we
Keep
won't
it
make
fast.
that mistake again.
Thank you. People don't realize this, but we get together not every night, but pretty close to it. Sometimes we could be a week that every night we do offline and we just chit chat and we just talk about anything. And once in a while we do go live with you guys. Kurt does go live on Sundays, and a couple guys do. Keith might be back. We don't know. But it's always fun. We're just there to have some fun and chit chat. Truck Tech Joe.
Glad to be part of the 400, kind of the newest one of the group. So I know I don't even think I've done 25 of them, but it's always a good time. Good information, new release stuff. So hopefully there's 400 more.
Cool. Thank you very much. Eric.
Tank, congrats on 400. hope we do get to do 400 more or however many more we get to do. It's always been a blast. I didn't come in until maybe 350, but it's been fun. It's been real, and stay green. Peace.
Thank you very much, Brad.
Congrats on the 400, and thanks to everybody who came today, and to Reefs. Hope to see him again. He's talking about next year showing himself up here, and don't go break something.
SCR Redneck RC.
Congrats on the 400. Thanks for letting me be a part of the club. I appreciate all the new info that comes out. It's a learning process, and I'm still learning. Thank everybody else in the chat, everybody else on the panel. See you next week.
Yeah, you're cool even if you run Vanquish. Okay.
Actually, I run an Axial SCX10 Pro.
Which one do you like better, the Vanquish or the SCX10 Pro?
The 10 Pro.
The 10 Pro? Cool.
Yeah. The expensive Vanquish stuff is trail trucks. The 10 Pro is do things trucks.
You want to know expensive? Start building a scale truck, like with a scale transmission, a scale interior, scale, like everything scale. They don't perform that good. Like you can't comp with them, but man, are they ever nice to work on and to do some stuff, but it gets expensive.
And they can trail run.
Yeah, you can definitely put some stupid money into them. I know from experience.
So true.
Oh, you.
Well, guys, thank you very much for coming week after week. This was episode 400. We're wrapping it up, and thanks for coming. And I do have to work on this big friggin' thing. I got to wrap up some things here, like that big trailer. There's some stuff I got to wrap up. Thanks for coming. 400th episode. Hopefully before the 500, I'll finish this guy off. But that's something.
I was gonna say, how about the one behind you?
Oh, this one here. That one there? My semi truck?
The semi truck that's been sitting there for like what, 2 years, 3 years now?
Yeah.
At least. I still got the box under here, which is half open, and I gotta make sure I still have all the parts. But they're there. Guys, thanks for coming. In the chat, thanks for being there in the chat. I know not everybody can come here in the live video, but if ever you do wish to come, send me an email at thetankrc@gmail.com, and I'll send you guys a link, and you guys come in. Even if you don't turn on your camera, you can still participate with just your audio. Once you get not shy, then you can turn on your camera if you want. But come and chit chat with us instead of typing. It's fun. It's different, and it's fun. I like it. I've been doing it for 400 episodes now. Until then, go charge up some batteries and go out there and break something. Because if you're not breaking anything, you're not having any fun, right, Brad?
No, my fun stops when things break.
Nah, that means you're pushing it. You got to push it hard.
Break it.
Just like on my last video there, the guy was racing his Kyosho and the tires came off of it.
Yeah, that was fun.
Push it hard.
He forgot to glue his tires. Got it on Amazon, forgot to glue his tires. Go check out that video.